Join me as I dive deep into the dark side and see what happens when I unleash the devil's power. Unleashing the devil's power within us is a concept that's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. It's about acknowledging the darker aspects of our nature and the choices we make when we're faced with temptation, anger, or moral dilemmas. It's about recognizing the fine line between good and evil, and understanding what drives us to cross it. When we're faced with internal struggles, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos of our own emotions. Anger, fear, and temptation can be overwhelming, making it difficult to distinguish right from wrong. We might find ourselves questioning our own morality, wondering why we're drawn to certain behaviors or desires that we know are harmful. It's during these moments that we must confront the devil's power within us, and make a conscious decision to take control. These internal struggles can manifest in different ways, depending on our individual experiences and circumstances. For some, it might be the temptation to cheat or steal, while for others it might be the urge to lash out in anger or revenge. Whatever the struggle may be, it's essential to recognize the warning signs and take steps to prevent ourselves from giving in to these darker impulses. The consequences of unleashing the devil's power can be devastating, not just for ourselves, but for those around us as well. When we let our emotions get the better of us, we might do or say things that we later regret, causing harm to our relationships, our reputation, and even our own well-being. Throughout history, we've seen numerous examples of people who have succumbed to their darker impulses, often with disastrous consequences. Take, for instance, the story of Ted Bundy, a serial killer who terrorized the United States during the 1970s. Bundy's case is a classic example of how a person's internal struggles can lead them down a path of destruction and chaos, causing harm to countless innocent people. Or consider the example of Bernie Madoff, who orchestrated one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, defrauding thousands of investors out of billions of dollars. Madoff's case highlights the dangers of unchecked ambition and greed, and how these desires can lead us to engage in reckless and harmful behavior. Another striking example is the story of Adolf Hitler, who rose to power in Germany during the 1930s. Hitler's inflammatory rhetoric and nationalist ideologies led to the persecution of millions of people, culminating in one of the darkest periods of human history. These examples demonstrate how the devil's power can be unleashed on a massive scale, causing immense suffering and destruction. One pivotal story that showcases the consequences of unleashing the devil's power is that of Charles Manson, a cult leader who orchestrated the brutal murder of several people in the 1960s. Manson's case is particularly interesting because it highlights the ways in which charismatic leaders can manipulate and control others, often using psychological tactics to bend them to their will. The Manson case also raises important questions about the nature of evil and how it can manifest in different ways. Was Manson born evil, or did his experiences and environment shape him into the person he became? These questions are essential to understanding the devil's power and how it operates within us. In conclusion, unleashing the devil's power is a serious business, and one that requires careful consideration and self-awareness. By understanding our own internal struggles and the choices we make, we can begin to take control of our darker impulses and make more informed decisions. Remember, the devil's power is always lurking, waiting to be unleashed, but it's up to us to keep it in check. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos on personal growth, overcoming challenges, and exploring the human condition.